Hi little Beppies and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to talk about Suchomimus and why I think it's, overrated and how to fix it. So let's get right into it. What even is Suchomimus in the Isle Evrima? Well, when I saw the pattern of it the other day, I asked myself this question, and I came to the conclusion that it will be similar to Berry and Spino, slower and more powerful than Berry, a bit faster and less powerful than Spino. Now let me tell you how most dinosaur clades with similar builds are usually handled in this game for good. You will usually have at max 3 of them, mainly 2. One small tier, one mid tier and one apex. That's because big size differences can really change your gameplay. For example, Ava, Dibble and Trike. They follow all the same build, but the size difference makes them feel unique, because it changes the behavior so much. One can walk confidently through everywhere, one has to be careful with bigger creatures, and one has to be cautious at all times. The other example for this are Hadrosaurs, with Para, Shunt and Maya, but more on that later because Para will theoretically suffer from the exact same problem as Sucho. Speaking of, there is another class between mid and apex, sub-apexes, or large mid-tiers, depending on how you wanna call it. For example, Stego fits in here, Para does, Acro does, and Sucho does. Now the size differences to both apexes and mid-tiers aren't that big, so what is going to set them apart from the relatives? Well, Stego's next relative is a mid-tier, Kentro, and Stego is a whole lot larger than it, being way closer to apex than mid-tier. Now imagine there was a Stegosaurid apex. Let's just theoretically say scientists were to discover that Weresaurus was actually way bigger and turned into a fully fledged Stegosaurid apex. The devs, not scientists. Who would be left playing Stego? No one. Either you go for the mid-tier, or you try fighting in the class of the giants. Because growth time is also a huge factor. Stego and Trike are only an hour apart in growth time, if I'm not mistaken. So people will take the hour, which doesn't do anything if we are talking 5 or 6 hour growth, and go for the big thing. Next up is Para, and it dodges this problem really well actually. It's a bit like Maya, just that Maya runs away from things and is one of the best playables for nesting, while Para is made for combating things like Aloe, having a scream attack, and Shant is a complete tank, competing with Giga and Rex, playing itself completely different to the fairly quick Maya and Para. Acro does suffer the same fate as Sucho, but it will have its own video alongside Alberto. So I explained what would happen if Werho was added, and I think this is gonna happen to Sucho as well. It just is not unique enough. I mean, what does it have? It can carry babies, that is it. Well, no one will play it then if they want power. However, this concept art drawing is essentially the key to fix Sucho's problem of not being unique enough. And it has to do with Para and Maya, let me tell you that. Sucho could be the perfect carnivore parent, ideal for nesting, and while not being too strong, good for new players looking for a big creature to learn the game with, once they are not that new to the game anymore. What I mean is, they maybe already know how to play small teeth and stuff, but haven't actually gotten to try out in a big creature like Sucho. So I think for those players, Suchomimus could be the perfect start to playing apexes. Sucho should easily be able to feed off AI, like turtles, big fish and AI dinosaurs crossing rivers. In addition, it should consume only very small amounts of food when feeding young, and now becomes the best part I thought of. Sucho should be able to nest in water, like beavers do today. For that you would simply place the nest in water, where it would float around and would be safe from land threats, or on land, where it could be safe from pesky crocs and spinos. It should also be able to eat rotten food if you ask me, to make it a little easier. Now this would come with its price of course. Sucho isn't going to be able to hunt many things and would oftentimes have to try dodging things like Dino, Spino or even duos of berries. Meaning it would essentially be the chill Spinos of your neighborhood, like a big Beppy with a twisted attitude. Speaking of which, Beppy could have a real nice symbiosis with Sucho, warning it about threats coming and maybe actually being able to feed Sucho chicks, as well as laying their own eggs in the Sucho nests, with the Suchos in exchange offering it protection and food. Sucho's hit points would also allow to survive attacks much easier. Similar to Maya. Actually very similar to Maya as I realized just now. So what do you think of my ideas for Suchomimus? Feel free to discuss in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and like, do not miss any more content like this. See ya!